All right, how are we, guys? So we got some coaching news today. New Orleans is filling out their staff. They're gonna take on Brandon Staley, and Brandon, he was somebody that was pretty analytically involved in drafting out there in Charger land and as a head coach, but he needed his teams to play with that tougher edge of Harbaugh, and that's why Jim Harbaugh is there right now. And they needed that rah-rah approach. They needed the discipline. They needed the nasty of what Jim Harbaugh is going to present. They needed some real structure and real tough love in LA for the Chargers. But in terms of a defense, you now see Vic Fangio have a year that I didn't expect Fangio to have. I mean, Fangio was somebody that when Vic was out there in Miami and in Denver, I thought that his best stuff was past him. But again, I was so wrong, and Fangio proved to be the best assistant in the NFL. And Brandon Staley comes from that tree, and he called really good defense with Denver and also helping out with Chicago and then with the LA Rams. So he has really good experience. I want there to be guys that are really, really vocal because Staley is a really brilliant tactician, but I want people that are strict. And I think that Terry Joseph is somebody that can be brilliant, but also Terry is somebody that I believe can really, get the most out of these secondary players. And Pete Kwiatkowski. So Pete Kwiatkowski, and he was with Notre Dame before, I guess, with Brian Kelly and actually maybe even Marcus Freeman. So Terry Joseph is also related to Mickey Joseph and Vance Joseph. He is a cousin of Vince. He's a first cousin of the coordinator Vance Joseph and Mickey Joseph. Mickey coached wide receivers for LSU, coached at LSU, Nebraska, and then Vance has been an NFL head coach, and Vance has been a D coordinator for a long time, okay, out there in that area. So love the hire. I mean, Texas now loses to Tashard Choice. Texas Longhorns also lose Terry Joseph. Pete Kwiatkowski runs like this zone scheme where he's rarely gonna blitz, so it kind of like really ties into Brandon Staley. And also Terry's a local native to New Orleans, so you're gonna get players that really love playing for Terry, and Terry's really happy to be back home. Doug Nussmeier also has ties to the region, and it's important. New Orleans is a very tight-knit football family. It's actually a tight-knit community in general. Very, very tight-knit. Like everyone in New Orleans, for the most part, has a real bond because of, the trials and tribulations, of course, with Hurricane Katrina. And that city is just... It has some of the most authenticity. It has authentic food. It has an authentic culture. It's a great place to visit, New Orleans. And I loved going there for the Super Bowl. And Terry being from New Orleans can really be such an asset. And Kellen Moore, since he's from Idaho, from Washington, you want to get people that are close to the region that know what wins in New Orleans and that can, again, go out there, bring family, and really can acclimate a lot of players to New Orleans, to the Saints, to the practice facility, to the game facility, to all the places around town. But Terry, again, his work in the secondary has just been stellar. Texas's secondary was like locked down, and they played, again, a lot of zone coverages, and they were very, very disciplined, and they were seldom out of position. Their defense, I believe, might have been the number one defense in college football. And now Terry's going to be going to New Orleans. So I'm liking the staff. Again, it's pretty standard protocol. The betting markets had it right that Kellen Moore would go out there and would hire Nuss and would also hire Brandon Staley. Again, are you going to get some of these are you going to get like some of these coaches that are really, really just rah-rah guys? You're going to have someone be the vocal leader on the coaching staff. And, of course, Kellen, what is he? Cerebral, quieter. Brandon Staley's kind of similar. You want to have the rah-rah. Hopefully Ted Raff will bring that. You need some real personalities to bring out the best in a football team because it's a violent, it's a physical game. It's a game that's going 180 miles an hour, okay? People are flying, so I'm in. I'm in on this hire. I think it's a very, very good one. I think it's one of the best hires on the staff. And Terry could eventually maybe be a defensive coordinator in the NFL, and he comes home, right? He wasn't just going to leave Texas, which is one of the best jobs in the country, what he was doing, working with that defensive staff. He's not just going to leave that job for any college or NFL job. And really the heartstrings here to New Orleans, it's his hometown team. And it's really nice to see that. All right, so congrats to Terry, and I really like this move for New Orleans.